Salome Rosemary Kal Makin, 7 years old. She died from dehydration and shock after crossing the southern border and being taken into federal custody. The Trump administration, including the Secretary of Homeland Security, blamed the girl's father for taking her on such a hazardous trip. But everyone in the Trump administration has done everything they possibly can to make that trip more dangerous, more deadly. They destroy water supplies that are left in the desert by Samaritans who are doing what Donald Trump's Bible tells them to do. Everyone in the Trump administration has done everything they possibly can to make that trip more dangerous, more deadly. They destroy water supplies.
We're going to show some video, which you probably can't see just the way that you guys are on a live view camera right now. But there's video of Border Patrol agents dumping water on the ground, water that was meant to be left for migrants. We saw Border Patrol dumping water that was meant for desperate migrants being dumped out on the ground. This just sort of extravagant cruelty is unusual for any administration, but for this administration, they seem to think it's effective for their base.
The Trump Republican Party will do absolutely anything to win. So they gear up, they sort of gear up the fears of their base talking about this caravan. They have, state-sanctioned TV over at Fox News doing the same thing. And then the day after the midterm elections, we hear nothing about it from the president, and we hear nothing about the caravan again from Fox News.
They murdered the 18-month-old little girl that died a few days after they released her back in June, and they murdered many other children.
And I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
Imagine the president of the United States goes and says the free press is the enemies of the people.
The dishonest media did not explain that I called the fake news the enemy of the people, the fake news. They dropped off the word fake.
This whole caravan in the last week of the election is a giant lie. This is Trump's Reichstag fire. Yeah. It is a lie.
He put out this tweet.
Caravans are heading here. Must pass tough laws and build a wall. Democrats allow open borders, drugs, and crime.
Now, when I saw that tweet, I was like, what in the world is he talking about? What caravan is heading over from Honduras to Mexico to here? Why would people sneaking in do a caravan? That makes no sense. And I've never seen that reported anywhere. It turns out it was reported one place. You guys want to see where? Unsurprisingly, yes, there it is on Fox News. Totally made up. And Donald Trump, of course, sees it on Fox and Friends and runs with it. But he'd like to deceive you and get you to hate immigrants that are coming into the country when they're not really the cause of the problem.
Been speaking with General Mattis. We're going to be doing things militarily. Until we can have a wall and proper security, we're going to be guarding our border with the military.
He watches it on Fox and then he repeats it. Our president is a moron. So there's this mythical caravan that came from Honduras into Mexico. He claims that they're bringing up in the middle of Mexico because there's no caravan.
We've seen a president of the United States make up out of whole cloth an invasion, saying that there is an invading army of disease-ridden immigrants coming to crash through the southern border.
It was made up by Fox News.
Over the weekend, agents for the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol began shooting canisters of tear gas from the United States border into Mexico, targeting women, children, toddlers, infants, and everyone else in those areas.
Here we go.
Well, if you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President,
I consider it to be an invasion.
As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that.
And why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
Well,
that's true.
But
they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They're not going to be doing that. They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors?
They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's
I
not an invasion.
Honestly.
Take a look at this. We are showing among likely voters a 12-point advantage for Gillum, 54% to 42%.
So here comes Beto O'Rourke. He's going to beat Ted Cruz.
A recent Ipsos Reuters poll gives Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke a 2-point advantage over Republican Senator Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz is the weakest guy I've ever seen. Compared to this strength, he's going to get clobbered.
He's gonna get clobbered.
I don't care how red they think Texas is. Against a real candidate, and Beto is a real candidate, Ted Cruz is gonna fold like he always does. This guy is a loser through and through.
In the Senate race in the state of Texas, where we say now that Ted Cruz will win. He has defeated Congressman Beto O'Rourke in the state of Texas. He's the projected winner right now.
No way he wins that seat. He will lose.
And we should also point out that Brenda Snipes in Broward County is a Republican appointed by former then Governor Jeb Bush.
You know, members of the Trump administration seem to think that the public coffers, where all the tax money from us U.S. taxpayers go, that it's just their personal fund money to do with whatever they want. It turns out that Nikki Haley spent $52,000 of State Department money, taxpayer money, on curtains.
Here's the original headline. Nikki Haley's view of New York is priceless. Her curtains, $52,701. Turns out, though, Nikki Haley had absolutely nothing to do with it. The curtains were bought by
The Obama administration.
Breaking news. Oh, my God. Oh, breaking news. ABC News' Brian Ross is reporting Michael Flynn promised full cooperation to the Mueller team and is prepared to testify that as a candidate, Donald Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians. Yeah!
Fake news fallout hitting ABC News after their chief political correspondent, Brian Ross, gives a faulty report on Michael Flynn.
Bombshell. President Trump's longtime lawyer ready to deliver the goods.
Sources tell ABC News that Michael Cohen claims that Donald Trump had advance knowledge of the Trump Tower meeting.
Michael Cohen, the president's former attorney and fixer, claims that then-candidate Donald Trump was aware of the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting with the Russians before it happened.
And Michael Cohen claims President Trump knew of the controversial 2016 meeting with Russians that were expecting to give the campaign dirt on Hillary Clinton.
There was only one problem with the story. It wasn't true. Here's what Michael Cohen's attorney, Lanny Davis, said earlier this week.
So Michael Cohen does not have information that President Trump knew about the Trump Tower meeting with the Russians beforehand or even
No, does not. And here are all the corrections that ran. Yeah, there weren't any.
But let me say this. This woman, when she does surface, will be found to be 100% credible by the American public. I would not be representing her if I did not believe her.
This accuser, Ms. Swetnick, who claimed that there were gang rapes and that sort of thing, she went on another network yesterday and totally changed her story in a number of huge, meaningful ways.
And if anyone has been paying attention over the last 6 to 7 months, they know that I do not traffic in nonsense or rumor.